Hey, yo, Miggy, what's up?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Miggy Talkz. I'm your host with the most, Miggy, and right in front of me, I got the beautiful Rebeca Martinez. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. You?
Thank you. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. How you doing? How are things? Where you at right now?
I'm in my room. Yeah, I'm good. I'm having a good day.
Yeah. What's the difference between a
Nervous.
what's a good day and what's a bad day for you?
Well, I don't know. Like a good day is just like, I wake up in the morning in a good mood, not a bad mood. And yeah, I just basically just, do class and then after that, um I pick up my room and if I'm still in a good mood, then it's a good day. If not, then just make sure that my brothers don't get me in a bad mood because then I'm gonna have a bad day, and I don't like bad days.
I got you. How many brothers you got?
I just have two. Yeah, I have two younger brothers.
Two younger brothers.
Yeah, one of them is 13, I think, and one of them just turned 4 last month on the 24th.
Dang. Okay. So
Oldest.
do you feel like being the oldest kind of it has a lot of like pressure and a lot of like there's a certain expectation that you have or that you're trying to set an example to them? Like do you feel like there's a lot of pressure on you because of that?
Yeah, yeah, I do think that there's a lot of pressure like towards me being the oldest because like you said, like I'm trying to set an example for my younger brothers, and I just have to be careful what I do because the smallest like younger people always like babies always tend to like copy everything you do. So I'm kind of scared. Like I don't want my baby brother seeing me do something and then next thing you know he's doing it, or I don't want him to hear me saying something and then next thing you know I hear him saying it because he's like that. Like he learns really fast. Like if he hears me say a word like over and over again, he's gonna do that same thing. And I mean, my older brother, not older, but the older one, he's like going into his teen years, so it's kind of like whatever. I just make sure that I try to like talk to him. You know how I wish someone would talk to me, and but other than that, I just think it's the pressure with the little one because I have to take care of him while my parents are gone. And
I got
yeah,
you.
I just try to have patience with him.
In a sense, you feel like you're trying to just be that person for them that you wish was there for you since you didn't have any
Yeah,
older
yeah,
siblings.
exactly. Yeah, that's what I always keep that like when I like want to get frustrated, I always think about that. I'm like, no, like keep it together, right? Like don't be that person. You have to be the person that you wish was there for you when they weren't for you. So that's what kind of keeps me going and keeps me you know like keeps the patience going for me because
So
yeah, I could
because of
lose my
that,
patience easily, well.
I got you. So because of that, like I remember you were telling me when you grow up you wanted to study become a nurse. And becoming a nurse is in the field of just giving back to the community and helping people out. Do you feel that being the oldest and just kind of having that mentality to always help out your younger siblings and probably help out other people in your family, that's just been something that's been programmed into your mind that you really, really have liked and has like it helped you decide that you wanted to be a nurse and just help people?
Well, I never really thought about it that way, but what you said about like helping out the community and everything, like I do enjoy that. Like I enjoy helping out people, that's why like at work, like sometimes customers do get frustrating, but I enjoy helping those who don't. Like I just like being that person who helps out everyone. But yeah, like now that you said that about that, like becoming a nurse, like to help out the community or whatever, like I feel like I fit in that because of the fact that I like to help out others. You get me? Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes a little bit of sense. And just for like, a little quick backstory so everybody understands when we talk about from work, again, you are another person that I brought into the show that I met at Walmart. However, it's a little bit like different because in the Walmart store that we have, we also had a McDonald's restaurant. And that's where I actually I first seen you because you were an employee at that McDonald's. And then they got shut down, and so now you just kind of transferred over, and now you're a cashier at Walmart. So let
I
me
didn't want to miss you guys too much.
now let me ask you: was there like a big difference between working at McDonald's and now working at Walmart? I mean, obviously the customers are pretty much the same.
Yeah, customers
About
will
the work
always be the
environment.
same, but about we're like working wise, yes, a huge difference. A lot, like a big difference because it's like at McDonald's, I was doing everything. Like it wasn't like, oh, you're a cashier, you're gonna stay as a cashier. Like I was a cashier, I was a maintenance, I was everything. I was a cook, and yeah, and like right here at Walmart, obviously like, oh, either you're a self checkout, you're there for like, well, like a good, 2 hours or so, or like you're on lockups, you're there for like another 2 hours and all. But here it was like no, like it was like multitasking a lot, and it was really tiring. Like although a lot of people like say that, oh, I would have preferred to work there than here, like no, I don't think you want to say that because it was a little frustrating, um because of the fact that like it was a quick job, because it's like fast food, so it was like pretty fast. And it took me a while to like cope with that because like honestly, like back then I used to be not like a slow person, but I wasn't really like a multitasker. And working at McDonald's helped me develop that multitasking skill, and now I can use it like anywhere I go. And yeah.
So I know a lot of people, they say, if you kind of go into a situation where it's really just like it's fast paced, it's stressful, it can get overwhelming at times. A lot of times if you get used to that and then you get put into a different type of work environment that isn't as fast paced, isn't as overwhelming, and isn't as stressful, it just makes that second job so much more easier. So, I mean, obviously, working at McDonald's, being a fast food, it probably would really suck to be like, your first job, and especially, how young you are to be working there. But do you feel like that's just made Walmart so much easier, and maybe even the next job you're gonna have to after that's like even more easier than that?
Yeah, definitely it did make like Walmart, because like my first day at Walmart, I was like, wow, like this is what I'm doing. Like I'm getting paid to do this. Like, wow, like who would have thought, right? But then like also like you said, like I got used to like everything being so fast paced. Because originally I was supposed to be a cashier, right? So just a cashier, not like self checkout, nothing else. But I didn't like it because I would get tired of the fact that I was just standing there in one place, and I didn't like that because I was already so used to moving around, being everywhere, multitasking, and then like I couldn't just stand there anymore. I don't know if you see me like when we're doing like self checkout and I'm just standing there. I can't, like I just be looking around like back and forth and forth. But yeah, like it did make Walmart much easier, because it's sometimes it's like fast paced, but not like as fast as a fast food. But yeah, that's I just thought I think it's like a little more how do you say, like a little more of a light job. You get me? Is that how you say it?
A light job, just like it's just not as hectic.
Not as overwhelming.
I got you.
Yeah, it's a
So
little more like chill.
I got you. That's definitely something like I want to ask you is because for a lot of people, I feel like they all want to get a job, but for most people, they just can't handle it because the sense of it's stressful, it's too overwhelming, it's this, that, and the other. And one of my coworkers, Keontae, who works in electronics, the one thing that he's always preached to me is, work is always what you make of it. If you make it an overwhelming, stressful job, it's going to be overwhelming and stressful. But if you know how to just, keep it cool, stay present, stay calm, and not panic, you'll be able to accomplish everything that you need to accomplish. So, what are some like techniques, or what is like that one thing that really just helps you get through those insanely crazy McDonald's shifts where everybody just wasn't on the same page, customers were super like annoying, and just like the average person would just want to break down and curl into a little ball and hide in the corner, you know? Well, what are some things that, you know, helped you get through it?
Well, I did have a couple, breakdowns, uh, like little, how do you say it, meltdowns, whatever, like while working, because of how you said, like it was so unorganized. Like my supervisor wasn't really like an organized person, so she would just kind of like bringing people like at the same time, right? So it was like a lot of people in one shift, and it was really crazy. And what's it called, and I was kind of new around that time, and basically like I was expected to do the other person's job, right? And I was like, what the heck, like I have my job, you have other people to do it, why can't you have them do it? Like, why do you have to have me doing it when you see that I'm busy, obviously with like a customer or something else? But I got to a point where like I wouldn't really like think about it. I would like, if they would tell me, "Oh, do this after you're done doing this, and then do that after you're done doing that." Like I would just like listen and then try not to forget, but I wouldn't like, how do you say, like I wouldn't like put my mind into it as much, so that way I won't get overwhelmed and like frustrated and everything. So I would just kind of like just focus, like, oh, you're doing the drinks, right? Just focus on doing the drinks right now. Like they have to wait. They could wait, or if not, they could do it themselves, right? So after I'm done doing that, then I move on to the next task. While I'm doing the next task, I just think about what I'm doing. Like if the other person is having like issues or needs help, like I'm sorry, but I'm doing my thing, right? And that's how I learned like um to cope with like everyone and everything, just by like focusing what I was doing like in the present.
Okay. That's actually, I really like that. I like that because, you know, a lot of things that happen in work, you can't plan, or they just kind of gets thrown at you like last second, last minute. And one of the best, I guess, examples that I could give in my form of work is when I do lockups. Lockups is when you go around the store and, you unlock things. And so when people push that button and when they want something out of the case, it goes off on the walkie. So sometimes I'll be helping one customer off, and then one, two, three,
It
four,
just starts going on.
Yeah.
even like seven, maybe even seven things go off at the same time. And I'm like, damn, like, by the time I get to this one, it'll probably be like 10 minutes. And I know that those customers are going to be mad because they're going to be like, well, why did it take so long, and this, that, and the other. And so just like how you said, with the soda machine, if you just focus on just doing the soda machine right now, this is the task at hand, and then you move on from one thing to the next, like that just makes your life so much more easier. And same thing with me. If I help out this customer at this lockup, I'm gonna help them out. This is the lockup that I'm at right now. This is all I'm gonna focus on. Once I get that done, I go on to the next. And for me, like, I always knew, you know, I'm gonna get all these lockups. Like, eventually these lockups, they're all just gonna go quiet, and it's gonna be like nothing, no lockups anymore. Probably you probably feel the same way too. Like, if you help out this customer, then all these other customers that were behind them, you're gonna help them out, and then that you're not gonna have any more customers anymore. So we both knew that at the end of whatever it was we were doing, it was gonna be like nothing ever happened. It's just gonna be this crazy, this hectic for maybe like 10 minutes. So in this 10 minutes, if you can just focus on the task at hand, get one thing done from the next to the next to the next, then you'll be chilling. And I keep that mindset with me all the time. So there's really no reason to just be stressing out about that, because the outcome is always going to be the same. You're always going to handle your job because you're a hard worker, and I know I'm a hard worker. So that's just that. I mean, that's how I take care of my things, and it seems like you're the same way.
Yeah, 'cause it is. I feel like it's like one of the best ways to take care of things, because I did try to like, do everything that they told me to do at once. Like, oh, I can do this and then that, but then it ended up being even worse because I was so focused on finishing this first, so I mean, like finishing it fast so I can move on to the next, so I can finish that fast. And because of that, like, I would mess up orders, I would get the wrong drink, and it would like obviously bring me consequences, right? So that's why it was always better to just like keep a mindset that you're doing this and they have to wait. Because if you try to do everything at once, you're gonna mess up. And and have mad customers and a mad supervisor.
I got you. I feel that. I feel that. Now, what about like this is always something that just kind of like bugged me, and I know it's probably not like a good thing to think about, but you know, when I'm helping out one customer and then another customer needs help, for some reason, like my mind is just programmed to be like, okay, what are they thinking right now? Like, are they thinking something bad of me? And it's just, I guess you could call it like an insecurity of mine that I have, where I just think that, you know, what is this person thinking of me? Like, what somebody else's opinion of me, like it matters, you know. And I'm always trying to be, in a sense, like a people pleaser. Like I always want to be in 5 different places at once, helping everybody out because I don't want them to wait or anything like that. And I guess in a sense, that's just kind of how I was brought up. I was always brought up in the idea to, like, you know, just be a good person to everybody and be able to provide my services to everybody. And I don't want anybody to, you know, feel down bad or anything like that. And I mean, that very recently, like, you know, like if I'm helping this person out, like they're going to have to wait and they're just going to have to suffer that waiting because, you know, I'm busy helping other people. But like, have you ever felt anything like that? And if so, like, have you been able to, I guess, fix that mindset, or what are some things that, you know, you use and you think about to just kind of, you know, be like, okay, this is my life. If you need my help, you're going to have to wait because my life is busy doing this and this and this.
Yeah, well, it's actually one of the things that I'm trying to work on too, because like you said, it bugs you, but I feel bad that I'm helping out a customer and then another customer comes up to me, and I'm like, damn, like what am I gonna do? But I know like sometimes you just have to tell them like, I'm sorry, like I'm helping out this person, like can you give me a second while I'm finished with this person so I can go help you. That's what happened. It happened to me like last week, I think. No, I don't know. I think it was last week on Friday. Um, I was at the self checkout, right? And then this customer came and then she was like, "Oh, I don't know how to do this. Can you help me?" And I was like, "Okay, cool, right? Like I can help you." But when I mean like I can help you, usually when customers ask me, "Can you help me?" I like show them, like I teach them how to use the self checkout so that way, I'm hoping like, okay, she got it right. She got the hang of it. I could leave her on her own while other customers, so I could be like free for other customers that need my help, right? So I was just there. I was like, okay, so like for the vegetables, blah blah blah, look up item, this and that, and then you scan, right? And then another customer was like, oh, excuse me, can you cancel this for me, right? So I was like, okay. And then I told her, I was like, okay, so you can just keep on scanning. And then I turned around and I went to go help the other customer. And then she was like, she screamed at me. She was like, excuse me, I told you I needed help first. And she was like arguing with me. And I was like, I'm sorry, ma'am, but like this is self checkout. You're supposed to check yourself out, right? Like I'm only here to help out customers who need like, you know, help, not like a short.
It's like you're not the cashier. You don't scan everything for them.
But I'm not there to like help you the whole time.
Yeah, because
And like I kind of felt bad because like she wasn't old, but she wasn't young either, so she wasn't like in those like in that age, and I was like, damn, like I gotta go back, right? Because then she's gonna think that like I'm a bad person, or she's gonna think that Walmart has bad customer service. So I was just thinking like how you said that. I was just thinking about like for her to say, oh, she's such a good employee, right? So obviously like I finished helping the other customers and I went back to her, right? Because like she refused to keep on scanning her own items, right? So I was like, whatever, like I'm not trying to argue with no one. I'm just like, this is why I'm here, right? So I just helped her out. And then some girl came up to me. She was a worker. And I didn't say her name. She was like, oh, she was like, it's self checkout, right? And I was like, I know. And then she was like, well, yeah, next time they tell you that, tell them that you can't help them scan like their whole shopping cart, right? And in my head I was like I can't do that. Like I'm not that type of person, like I'm different. I'm all about like if you need my help, I'm gonna help you. But then I feel like there's always some like times, like certain times where you have to tell the customer like, I'm sorry, like I can't help you.
yeah,
It
because
sounds messed up, but
No, no, no. I know exactly where you're going, because it's like you give your services to help them out, And then sometimes you feel like, or at least how I feel like, is that my being a good person, they take advantage of it.
Yeah, exactly.
So they could take advantage, and then they suck it out of you. And that goes for like everything, not even just work, like maybe in just, in regular life. Like a lot of people will take advantage of you being a good person to them. And so that's not for me saying like, go out and just, be a douche to everybody. Like, no, be a good person, provide your services, do what you got to do, and then I'll just understand like where your place is, and what like the whole thing as a whole. Like when the lady came in, she obviously hopefully knew that, it's a self checkout, keyword self checkout.
I know, that's why I was like, so it's
We're here to help you out, and we'll get you started, and we'll get you, to get you an understanding, so we're all on the same page. But there's only one of me and like 7 different machines, and everybody's using the machine, so everybody needs help. So I can provide my services to you, but then I gotta go. But like, I don't want them to take advantage of it.
yeah,
So
yeah, definitely. It sucks. It sucks that like how you say that a lot of people know like who to take advantage of, Like obviously like a lot of people do take advantage of good people. And it sucks, but like so like I feel like nothing like any situation will change me from being a good person. You get me? Like I like you could take advantage of me as many times as you want. Like it's not gonna change me. It's not gonna make me want to be a bad person.
cool. So besides when you're working at Walmart and, dealing with all these customers and all that, what are some things that you like to do in your free time?
Um, well, I like to go out. I enjoy going out with like, friends, but I don't have friends anymore. So, but like what I do on my free time is just like I'm home, just try to finish, I catch up with school and everything. And I hang out with my family a lot. That like ever since I stopped hanging out with my friends, I feel like I have more time for my family. You get me? And I like it. I prefer hanging out with my family than like my friends.
I got you. And you go to Milliken, right?
Oh yeah, I go to Milliken. Yes, I'm a senior. Hopefully, I graduate this year.
So what's the deal with that one teacher that got in trouble? I know you heard about it. Like what's up with that? Did you know him? Did you see the video, and did you?
Oh no, no! Thank God I didn't see nothing.
Nah, I have the video if you want to see it.
No,
You don't want to see it?
I'm okay. No, uh, I know a lot of people who had him like in the past years, not that day though. I don't really know anyone who had to experience that. So
That's
yeah, and I'm surprised. I'm actually surprised I didn't see none of that around social media. Because like something had happened with this teacher like a while back, and it was all over social media. So everyone like ended up finding out, right? And I only found out because I only saw one person post it on their Instagram account, but it wasn't like a video or nothing. It was like something from like OBUSD News or something. I don't know. But I was still confused. I was like, what are they talking about? Like, I've heard of the teacher, but I never saw him. Like,
So you're saying that teacher was in a controversy before?
no. Like another teacher, like a different teacher.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, damn, two big old controversies like that. That is crazy.
I think, yeah, the teacher that I'm talking about isn't there no more because that happened when I was a freshman. I think he was like a pervert or something, and like, yeah, he like harassed a girl, and everyone found out. Yeah.
what the
Yeah,
hell?
it's weird. Teachers are so weird. Oh my gosh.
Milliken is weird, man. Thank God I went to Wilson. I ain't trying to be like that.
Yeah,
Damn.
a lot of weird things have happened there.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I don't know. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm surprised that it wasn't like a social media thing because nowadays everyone finds out everything because of social media.
It
So
didn't get.
that's what I'm saying. Like, how the hell do you have a video of it?
Because nah, I honestly I got it from a friend of mine who went to Milliken, but he graduated like 3 years ago. But just everybody just kind of knows about it, I guess.
Yeah, that's weird.
But just kind of like, backstory so people understand what we're talking about. This teacher, he was doing a Zoom class, and then I guess he forgot that he had his like screen share on, and so my boy decided at like what time was it? It was like 10 o'clock in the morning, right?
No, it was during first period, so it was like 7, 8-ish. It was like 8 something, because usually class starts at 7:50.
So my man,
Yeah, so it was early in the morning.
My man decided he wanted to get a early morning wood on, and he went to Pornhub and started watching some porn, not knowing that he had all of his stuff on. And so then all the students that was in his class saw it, and yeah, from what I heard, I don't know if it's true. I got to do more research into it, but from what I heard he got fired and they took his pension away, which that's really shitty. I can't believe it though. Like, what the fuck? That's crazy.
Like, who? Like, come on now, you're in Zoom. Like, why? Like, I don't know. I just feel like he didn't. I feel like he was aware. You get me? Because it's like how are you being on Zoom? Like, how are you just gonna go in search of something like that? Like, being on Zoom is not safe. Because I've heard of a lot of stories too, where like people think they're muted and then they're unmuted, or they think that their camera's off and their camera isn't being on.
Really? I didn't know anything like that. To be honest, like this is my second semester, actually, well, third semester, I guess you could say, where it's during the whole pandemic, and not once have I taken an online Zoom class. Like every single one of my classes, they're all just, you read the book and then you answer questions and all that. But like, what are your thoughts on that? Do you think Zoom is kind of like it's doing its due diligence to kind of just help you get through your classes, or like what?
I don't know. Honestly, I think it's the same as just like leaving us like off on our own, because it's like, I mean, I gotta admit that like the first couple days, like it was hard. Like it was hard to be like listening to your teacher through the computer. And it wasn't obviously like it wasn't the same. And I felt like, because this happened last year, right? So last year during second semester, like I don't even know how I got through the semester, but honestly, I didn't learn nothing. Like, because teachers just kind of gave up too. They were like, whatever, just read this, answer this. But it wasn't really like lessons.
yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know. And now like they try, like they're really trying, but like it's the same. It's the same. Like students are they're not learning as much as they used to when like actual school was going on. And also one of my teachers was saying that they like reported that like straight A students now have like the worst grades of like all time because of the whole online thing. And I'm like, wow, like it really sucks though, because imagine like being a straight A student and because of this, like now you have a.
Yeah, I'd be mad. I mean, man, like this whole COVID thing, it really, if you don't know how to take advantage of it, it's just gonna flip your whole world upside down.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I was having this conversation with actually a buddy of mine earlier, and it was like, I noticed for a lot of people, as soon as COVID hit, it was like, oh man, like their whole life got flipped upside down. These are very sociable persons with their big old friend groups, or they had plans of going to Coachella, doing stuff like that. And so now all they do is just kind of stay home and watch Netflix. And I know a lot of people that they don't even want to go to school because of COVID. So they're going to take all these like gap years and stuff and just wait for everything to go back to normal, which, to be completely honest with you, I don't think it's going to go back to normal for maybe like another year or 2 years, maybe. So that's like,
They said that it should go back to normal this year, but I don't know.
I
I
don't
don't
know.
know. I don't think so.
I mean, it's just kind of, you just kind of have to see how it plays out.
Yeah, what you said about your friend that like he was like a social person and now he's not. I feel like that kind of happened to me too, because before like COVID and everything, like I really loved going out. Like I would go out every weekend. Not like to parties or anything, but just like, go out like to the beach, the park, to eat. I also got a Disneyland pass, and I'd be there an annual pass, so I'd be there like every day. And now like they're like, oh, let's go out, and I'm like, no, I don't want to, like I'm more I don't really like want to go out anymore. I just want to stay home, and watch Netflix, like you said.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's bad though. That's bad because like I don't think that being home a lot is good for like the mind, you could say, because
It's not healthy for your brain mentally.
it's not healthy. Yeah, because now like you don't have any distractions. For like what if like someone is suffering from like mental health, right? Like how do they distract themselves when they're just home? You get me?
Yeah. No, I get you. I get you. Like when you're home, all you have is just your thoughts
Yeah, exactly.
that are in your environment. Like when you go out, you have all these distractions, things that kind of like take your mind away from different like areas in your life that probably are really like hurtful, or like you're suffering through, or things that you just kind of want to forget. And I mean, I guess like what a lot of people could probably relate to is when you go to bed and you like for I don't know about you, but for me it takes me a while to fall asleep, so I just kind of lay in bed and be like, damn, like what if I asked her out that one day, or what if I did this differently than this, or what if I say something to this person, and it's like, I guess when people stop going out, they would just be sitting at home, and then they just have thoughts like that running through their head all the time, and it's just kind of like these loops that go on here and there, and those distractions that you had before were never there to distract you, and so you're kind of just and I feel like a lot of people are getting more depressed because of that, because they kind of start thinking about bad thoughts and they go into these dark rabbit holes. Like, did you find yourself kind of in that same situation?
Yes. I still do, but like how we were talking last time, like I catch myself like falling into the rabbit hole, but then I'm like, when I'm there, I'm like, no, like you can't let yourself fall into that hole again, because yeah, like I may not have the same distractions that I had back then, like going out to the park, the beach, to Disneyland, whatever. Now I just try to like encourage myself, like I try to like I just think about how I got myself out of the situation that I was in and how much time and effort it took to get out of there. So that's why I'm just like, no, like you can't go back. It wasn't easy to get out of it, right? So you could just like easily fall back into it. So yeah, and I do try to like there was a point where I would me and my family, like my parents and my brother, we all got bikes, and then we were just like um ride down to like the beach, and we would just chill there for a little bit, because I felt like, honestly, like I felt like it was also happening to my parents, like they were starting to like fall into that whole like getting like stressed and everything. So I feel like that helped them a lot, and it helped me too. But like now that I'm less active, I do catch myself like I'm laying in bed and I'm just like, damn, like I could have done this, I could have said this. Like how you were explaining, you just explained my whole situation right now.
Yeah, and you know what I like about this? What I like about what you said is, you catch yourself falling into those rabbit holes, which I think is probably single-handedly the most beneficial thing to do, especially like, someone who's gone through something like that. And even to base off of that, I feel like in order to grow as a person, to really grow as a person, you have to experience these low points, and you have to know how these low points feel, and you have to get through these low points, because like you said, you catch yourself falling deep into these holes, and it's so easy to kind of just go back to the place that you were. But you know how you were when you were in those places, and you know how you are now. And so that's one of the big driving factors to not let your mind go to those places, because you know what you want, you know how to get to where you want to be. And if you let your mind go down these rabbit holes like you have done before, you're going to be in a dark place that's not going to get you to become the type of person that you want to become. And so therefore, the fact that you went through these low points has already made you such a better and more efficient person now than you even realize. And catching yourself, if you can catch yourself now, from going into these dark places, imagine how it's going to be later on in your life. Because, like, you got to understand, you know, life is always going to be a roller coaster. Like, you're going to have your highs, you're going to have your lows. And your lows will never last. They'll go back to highs. And sometimes your highs may never last and you go down to your lows. But it's all about what you learn from those low points to never fall into the same low points again.
Yeah, that's true. You know, it's crazy. Like, I was just scrolling through Instagram and then I bumped into this quote, and it's literally what you just said right now. It says, and it really caught my attention. That's why I screenshot it, right? So it's like when we hit our lowest points, we are open to the greatest change, right? And I thought about it. I was like, damn, like that's true, you know, because like you said, um, when we hit our lowest points is like when what's it called? When we, you know, thrive to change even more. And then there's also this one, have you seen the movie Sing?
Sing?
Sing, yeah.
Oh, with the animals?
Yeah.
Yeah, I seen that.
There's also this quote that the koala said that really always stuck to me, was that said, the only good thing about falling into this deep hole is that there's nowhere to go but to go up. I think it was like when something like that, you know. And
It's like when you hit rock bottom, the only way to go is up. Yeah, I remember that part. And he was on the little moon and shit. Yeah.
yeah,
That
and like ever since I watched that movie, and when he said that, I was like, damn, like I really like it, like repeated it in my head, and I didn't learn it, you know, word for word, but yeah, I always thought about that. Yeah.
That's good. That's good. I think that's very, like, I'm happy for you. Like, not a lot of people, believe it or not, will think like that. And for a lot of people, they'll be like, oh, like, you know, I'm in a low point. I might as well just mask it or just kind of keep running away from it because I don't want to deal with it. And, you know, if anything, it's gonna suck. You gotta bite that bullet, but you gotta deal with it. But like the person that you come out as on the other side is unbeatable. You just can't beat it. Yeah. Hell yeah.
It has its advantages, you know, but then like when you're in the moment, it sucks. It sucks, but you know, we always learn from our mistakes, you know. Yeah.
Got you. So, all right. So, you know, it's crazy because we had this conversation over lunch, and I kind of want to build off of this conversation a little bit. And one of the homies that I had on the show, actually, it was a show before this one, he told me, because we were just talking about girlfriends and relationships and things like this. And he told me, he goes, you know, a lot of times you just want to find that person where you can sit with them in a room and you don't have to say anything, but you enjoy each other's company. And the moment he said that, it really just kind of like, it hit me like, wow, like that makes a lot of sense, because in past relationships that I've had, I guess I always never wanted there to be a dull moment. Like I always wanted each moment to be with her to be something exciting, to be something fun, you know. But I guess if I really kind of step back and think about it from like a long-term perspective, if I want to be with this person for a really long time, you know, to keep things interesting, to keep things extravagant, this, that, and the other, like it takes a lot of energy. And, you know, if I'm going to be with this person for a majority of my life, like I'm not always going to have that type of energy. So there's going to be moments where, you know, we'll just probably want to just cuddle up or, you know, just enjoy each other's company. So, you know, with the fact that he told me that, it kind of like has changed my perspective on, you know, when I create relationships with people, is, you know, if you really vibe with somebody, you can just be with somebody and be quiet, and you just enjoy being there with them. Like, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, I think like I think it's a good how do you say it, like a strategy you could say, to be able to connect with someone like that, because it's, you know, sometimes it's not easy to like keep a conversation going, you know, or like if you do tend to keep the conversation going, you're like, damn, like am I talking too much, am I getting annoyed, you know, you just don't want to, because like me, I feel like if I were to talk to someone that I really want to talk to and like keep a conversation going, I feel like I would annoy them, you know. And I always think about that, like when I'm talking to someone, I'm like, damn, like if I stay quiet, they're gonna be like, oh, she's boring, right? But if I keep talking, they're gonna be like, oh, she's annoying, like stop talking already, right? But it is cool to be able to just stay, like be quiet for a little bit and just enjoy your guys' like company, because like for me, I struggle with trying to keep a conversation going, right? But I also, like, I'm not the person where if we're hanging out and you're not talking to me, I'm not gonna be like, oh, like, why aren't you talking? Like, talk to me, right? Like, I wouldn't mind if you're quiet. I would be quiet too, and I think like I was telling you last time that I feel like the smallest things always have the biggest meanings to it. Because like how you were saying right now, like your past relationships, you always wanted to be doing something fun with like your girlfriend, right? But in reality, like that's like you don't have to have something thrilling always going on for you to make memories with that person, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I know.
That's what I think.
Yeah, like the little things count. You don't have to be over the top, over the extra and everything. Like a lot of times what I find in, relationships is, they don't know what to get each other for their gift or for something like this. And I know people that will drop money on money on money for somebody just, to make it seem like, okay, if I give this much money to you, the amount of money that I give to you is in a sense how showing you how much I care for you. So I care for you a lot. So I'm gonna give you, a lot of money. I'm gonna buy you like a Prada ring or something like that.
But
It's not like that.
In a way that's kind of toxic, but in reality, it should just be each other's company. You don't have to go over the top. And like you said, I like how you said, it's the little things that matter. Maybe it's the intention that matters. So it's not so much
It's the thought. It's the thought that counts.
exactly. It's not tangible. So there's a real thing between like real connection and something that's tangible. Like you would rather have something with somebody that nobody else can see, but only you and the other person can feel.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, like I was telling you last time, I'm that person like that doesn't expect anything big from like a guy, right? Like I don't expect the guy to come, like you said, oh, buy me like an expensive ass ring. Like, no, I don't expect that from you. Like you can pick a flower. Where did I say you can pick a plant off the freaking parking lot and bring it to me and I'll keep it forever till I lose it. And that, like, it really, like, that's what makes me happy. Like if someone were just to cut a flower off a garden and give it to me, like, damn, like it'll bring me joy for like long-term joy, right? And if a person buys me an expensive ring, let's just use that as an example, like, yeah, I'm gonna be happy in the moment, right? But then like later on, like, where I'm gonna just be happy for a couple days, and it's not that I'm not like appreciating the gift. It's just that I feel like not all girls are the same, that they expect big things rather than little things.
Yeah.
I know that there's girls that are like, oh, if you get her like the smallest gift, like a chocolate or something, they'll be like, what the hell, like, is this how much I mean to you? Like, no, that don't make a guy feel like that, because I feel like that makes every guy feel like that, and every guy has that in their head, like, oh, I need to get her something expensive, I need to get her something big, so she won't how do you say, what's the word, so she won't like
Leave them.
like,
Yeah.
or yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
Just be like you're not giving me what I want, so why should I be here? You're not providing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I guess that in itself is its own form of like toxicity, whatever the fuck that word is. But yeah, no, this is good. This is good. Like, I appreciate what your input is on this, because I feel like a lot of people, or at least a lot of couples, in a sense, they're not on the same page with each other, and like a lot of dudes will go out of their way to like spend every single penny they have in their bank account to just prove themselves to a girl, when in reality, like if you're doing that and like that's what it takes, you probably shouldn't be in that relationship to begin with. But for a majority of the girls, at least the good kind of girls that a person would probably want to date, it's just the small things, the really small little everyday things that just like every little small things kind of add up to one big huge thing in the end, and that's what really matters.
Yeah, because like, yeah, that's one thing. Like, no, I'm not like trying to be cocky or anything, but like that's one thing that I really like about myself is that like the smallest, literally smallest things just make me so happy. Like the feeling is so unexplainable. Like I cannot explain like how that makes me feel, and I like being like that. I enjoy myself.
There you go. I feel like you should. Everybody should be friends with themselves.
Yeah.
Definitely. Hell yeah. Well, hey Rebecca, tell you what, I really appreciate you coming on the show, and I appreciate your inputs on all these different topics that we talk about. And it's super cool because not too long ago I was ordering a Big Mac from you at McDonald's, and then I came up to you and I was like, "Hey, how you doing?" Because we started working to each other in the bullpen, and so now I got you on the show, and I could definitely say you and I have gotten pretty close, and it's pretty cool.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I know I was like, man, Miguel needs to get me on his show like right now. No, just kidding. Remember I told you I was like, wait, when are you gonna put me on the show?
Yeah, and I told you I was gonna get you on, and here we are. So, of course, I guess you could say, I'll make everybody's dream come true.
Yeah.
I got you.
No, I'm just kidding.
All right, y'all. Y'all enjoy the rest of your day.